I'm Peggy, and I welcome you to our kitchen, to good recipes, good food, and a positive attitude. And I have a wonderful lady with me from Clemson University, Rhonda Matthews. And Rhonda is, I think she's an expert on food safety and nutrition.
Right.
She teaches, and she's come to share with us today a pasta without pasta.
That's right. We're going to do, today we'll start out making a lasagna, and instead of having the traditional sheets of pasta in there, we'll replace that with some zucchini, a vegetable. So it's meat and vegetable all the way through, and it turns out to be still a very substantial dish, and just really nice for the dinner table. Really nice.
Okay.
So we're going to get started. I'm going to put you to work if that's okay. So the first thing we're going to need is we're going to do about 2 pounds, give or take, of ground beef. And if you'll put that in our hot pan.
And you notice the pan is hot, but I said, you know, where's the olive oil? She said you don't need it.
Yeah. So we'll get that cooking, and it won't take too long, and I'll let you take care of that.
Okay,
I'm going to add to it about a teaspoon, and I like a good heaping helping, so we're going to...
Ooh, you can smell that.
Yep, so we're going to add that garlic in there.
Now look, am I spoiling that?
Nope, you're fine, keep going.
All right.
If we need it, we'll add in a dab of water. The other thing that we're going to add in there is a couple of teaspoons of Italian seasoning, just the dried blend. Quite good enough in there. There we go. Keep stirring it.
Oh, it
perfect.
Smells good.
It is. It's yummy. We're also going to give it a dash of seasoning. Just a little bit of salt.
A little salt and pepper.
A little salt and pepper to help it out. Okay, so there we go.
All right.
So I'm going to let you work with that, keep stirring it, and then we're going to continue to work on the rest of our layers. Okay. So the primary ingredient that we use here for replacing our pasta is zucchini, and we're going to slice this into rounds. And I've already washed all this, and it's ready to start slicing. So
you just take the ends off.
I do. I've only taken the ends off, and we're going to cut these into thin coins. Maybe you need a little more heat?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. We'll cut these about 1/8 of an inch thick. So we're going to give these a little cut. So while you're working on that, I'm going to give these a little chop. Once we get our ground beef cooked all the way through, then we're going to add just a little bit of tomato sauce to it.
But when I put this in the skillet, there was nothing in it.
That's right.
Just the ground beef.
That's right.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and get that finished up. That'll work. The other layer that we're going to go ahead and start working on in just a jiff is going to be our cheese layer. So we're going to take a break from all our coins here, and we'll start mixing together our ricotta cheese, and we're going to use, give or take, 15, 16 ounces. So we're going to add this in. This looks like a really big jar, big container, but it's only half full.
So how much ricotta cheese are you putting in there?
About 16 ounces, so a pound of ricotta. So in that goes.
So you have about 2 pounds of ground beef.
That's right.
And 1 of ricotta. Okay.
Yep, a pound of ricotta. We're going to add in some Parmesan cheese to it. And then we're going to add in a couple of eggs. The eggs will act as a binder, and it'll also loosen it up so that we can spread it. Okay, so there we go. All right, and we're going to stir this. All that goes together. How are you looking?
I think we're doing all
All right. We're also going to give this a hit of salt and a hit of pepper. Give it that extra seasoning. And give that a good stir. There we go. You're looking like you've got it about done.
I think we're
all right.
doing all right.
So the ricotta is mixed up. That Parmesan, even though you don't see it, gives a nice little extra punch of flavor in there. All right, so let's get ready. What we need to do now is let's drain our ground beef. And I've got to set up. You did beautifully.
All right.
Take you on the road with me. So what we're going to do is just drain it off right here. Get rid of the grease. And right back in the pan. Okay? I'm going to give it back to you.
All right.
Now we're going to add in the smallest can of just tomato sauce. So in that goes. And I'm going to let you stir, and we'll cook that until it thickens nicely. At first, that doesn't look like hardly enough to get that coated well, but it's plenty. And once that starts cooking together, we'll let it go for 3 or 4 minutes. So the next thing we're going to do is get our pan ready. That's looking nice.
I think I've turned this.
Oh, let's give it some more heat then.
Yeah, it
there we
needs
go.
a little more heat.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, this is just a 9x9 baking pan. Now it's made of paper, but it really
This is a nice thing, though.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to take a meal to someone who, maybe a new neighbor or somebody who's ill, or to a church supper, you don't have to worry about bringing it home. You don't have to worry about washing it, and you can put that in the oven.
These will go in the oven up to 425 degrees for an hour. So we're going to make our lasagna in this. And if you make, this one will tend to, this size pan will make a very tall lasagna. If you make it in 9x13, you get a little bit thinner, skinnier lasagna, and it cooks a little quicker. So depending on how much time you've got, gauge the size of your casserole dish. So what we're going to do is,
you just slice that and you just
right.
put it in the bottom of the pan.
That's right. If you'll grab a handful of these, we're going to make a layer down in the bottom.
Okay.
And that'll be our first layer. Whoops, you're fine. All right, looking good. We just basically want to cover the bottom of the pan, and that's good.
There.
All right, perfect. Next thing we're going to do
I think this is all right
that
now.
looks nice, doesn't it?
think
All
it
right,
does.
if you
Okay.
would, I'm going to let you layer on a little bit of that, about half of it. Perfect. Very nice.
Now, if someone is, trying to not eat a
Beef.
lot of bread and things, this is one recipe
Oh,
where
yes.
you can have a pasta dish without the pasta. Is
You
that enough?
betcha. That's
Okay.
beautiful. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, if you'll grab some more zucchini, and we may need to start chopping again soon, we're going to cover these just like we would if we were making layers for traditional lasagna. So we're going to cover that up.
Oop. There.
All right, and let's sit this right here so we can get our workspace ready. And
You want
we
some
will.
more, huh?
I do.
All
We're
right.
going to layer it up. All right. Notice we're not cutting big, thick chunks. We're cutting little thin coins. If you want the planks so that they're cutting this way, you can do that as well. And it will look more like the shape of traditional lasagna noodles. All right, there we go. Let's get that covered. Okay, next, here we go. About half of your ricotta cheese. Alrighty, there we go. And let's spread that out.
I must say, this is a very different recipe.
It is, I know. It comes out very nice though. Okay, here we go.
All right, now you want this on top?
Actually, we're going to put more vegetable. Look how much vegetable you get in this.
That's
all right.
wonderful.
Okay, and then we'll continue to do this until we have layered everything we've got. There we go. Get off there. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, if you'll give me some more meat on there. Beautiful. I think folks are getting the idea. We're basically just building our lasagna and layering it together. You will need about 2 pounds of zucchini in order to make it all the way up to the top of the pan, or to finish up this and the and the
Yeah, I
meat.
think I got it all.
Right.
Okay.
So I think we've got the idea. We would continue to use zucchini and then a layer of pasta. I mean, a layer of cheese, and
this
then,
is a pretty nice serving. How many people would this serve?
oh, you could easily, I would say 8 or 9.
Okay, now you're not going to put cheese on top of
We
it?
are. Let's get one more layer of, see, you read my mind. All right, so what we'll do, if you'll grab that and start, if you'll lay them out, I'll finish slicing
This is
them.
kind of like a game.
All right.
There.
And then, once we've got everything covered, we're going to, there you go.
Whoops.
Now at home we would take our time, and this looks so prim and proper.
Well, it
Today
does
we
look
just want
nice.
folks to get the idea. We would, all right, so we're going to take 8 ounces of mozzarella. At home we would have filled this completely full, used all our cheese and all our zucchini. But here's the idea. You want to
Well, I don't know how
cover-
much more you could get in that pan.
Actually, when I make it at home, it's up like this.
Okay.
And then we'll pat it down and make sure we've got our layers nice and
That's pretty.
tight in there. And so what we'll do is we'll put this in the oven, and then we're going to pull the one that's
Now,
cooked
do you
and
do
take a
well,
peek
how
at
much?
it.
350?
Yeah, 325, 350.
Okay.
Start out cooking it for 30
Here,
minutes.
don't burn yourself.
No, we're
Oh,
good.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
It's nice. It comes out looking good.
Yummy. Look at that.
Start out cooking it for 30 minutes and check it. I even like to tint this with foil so that it doesn't brown quite as quickly.
Well, I think it's pretty brown. I think that's very tempting.
So, but once you, depending on how quickly your oven runs,
Yeah.
and depending on if you've got a deep casserole or a more shallow one, you may wind up cooking it an hour. If it's very shallow, you may wind up only cooking it, 30 minutes. But take that aluminum foil off and let it come up golden brown in there. So if you will, get me that beautiful orange plate down there. We're going to serve this up.
There we go.
Okay, let's make sure this is turned loose, and it has. All right, so there we go. You can see our layers are in there, nice and tall.
that is
very pretty.
Very,
Okay.
very pretty.
Right.
And it's different. I like
Oh, yeah,
that.
all
It's-
those
if you're
vegetables.
tired of the same old thing, here's something a little bit different.
That's
and
right.
it's good for you as well.
Absolutely.
Now, let me say, if you would like the recipes that Rhonda Matthews and Clemson University are giving us today, they are free. And if you could send a self-addressed stamped envelope, send it to the Peggy Denny Show, Post Office Box 1616, Greenville, South Carolina, 29602. And we need that number, which is 831-831. And we'll be delighted to share it with you. Or you can just click on peggydenny.com. And you have a website.
We do, or at the Abbeville Extension, which is where I am most
Yeah.
of the time. It's clemson.edu/Abbeville.
Okay.
Or if you
Or-
want to email me, that's even better.
You could just put on Clemson University, Rhonda Matthews, and
There I am.
we're going to go to a quick break and we'll be right back.